In the ever-shifting world of cryptocurrency, where fortunes are made and lost in hours, Pi Network has stood out for its unconventional rise. Built on the promise of mobile mining and decentralized access for the masses, it amassed millions of users before its token even became tradable. But now, that promise is being tested. A recent crash has reignited debates about the project's direction, exposing cracks in both technical infrastructure and investor confidence. As the community braces for what comes next, the key question is no longer just when Pi Network will launch fully, it's whether it can survive the pressure building around it. In just 40 minutes, PiCoin lost more than a third of its value, wiping out millions in market cap, rattling its massive user base, and raising the haunting question, is this the beginning of the end for Pi Network, or just another hurdle on the road to legitimacy? It was a Friday that started like any other for the Pi Network community. Until it wasn't. In a swift and staggering move, PiCoin plummeted from 62 cents to 40 cents, before clawing its way back to around 55 cents. The crash didn't happen in isolation. It came on the back of renewed geopolitical tensions, specifically a military confrontation between Israel and Iran that sent shockwaves through global financial markets. In crypto, where volatility is already the norm, this external pressure pushed traders into a panic. Bitcoin dropped nearly $5,000 in hours. Ethereum plunged over 9%. And PiCoin? It took one of the sharpest nosedives in its short trading history. What made the moment even more intense was the trading activity. Volume for Pi exploded by 276% during the collapse, a clear signal of widespread selling. Panic selling, to be exact. The dramatic increase in volume underscored the fragility of investor sentiment surrounding the coin. Already down more than 53% from its 30-day high of $1.27, the Pi token suddenly became a symbol of lost confidence rather than momentum. As crypto analyst Moon Jeff noted, altcoins had started gaining traction again. And then, out of nowhere, something always kills the momentum. But market fear wasn't the only trigger. Underneath the surface, structural problems in the Pi Network ecosystem were already brewing, and the crash simply brought them into the spotlight. One major source of instability is the upcoming token unlock schedule. More than 340 million Pi tokens are set to enter circulation by July, with major unlocks planned for June 18, June 26, July 5, and July 7. As anyone familiar with crypto economics knows, a sudden surge in supply without matching demand is a recipe for price slumps. And that's exactly what holders fear. To make matters worse, technical issues within the Pi Network infrastructure have only added fuel to the fire. Users across the community have reported broken two-factor authentication, lost balances, and incomplete token migrations even after passing Know Your Customer (KYC) verification. Some users have been locked out of their wallets entirely. These aren't minor bugs, they are foundational problems that affect trust and usability. Much of this chaos followed the launch of the Horizon update, an ambitious overhaul intended to bring the network closer to full decentralization. The update was supposed to enhance validator autonomy and lay the groundwork for Open Mainnet operations. Instead, it introduced delays and bottlenecks that left users stranded and confused. The community's frustration is reaching a boiling point, especially as the network approaches its next major milestone, Pi 2 Day, slated for June 28. I did everything right, KYC, wallet setup, migration, one user wrote on Reddit. And I still can't access my tokens. It's beyond frustrating. The PiCore team has acknowledged the issues and stated that wallet visibility and migration problems are being addressed ahead of the Pi 2 Day event. But after multiple delays and unfulfilled roadmaps, many community members are skeptical that the fixes will arrive in time. As if that weren't enough, Pi Network continues to face internal conflict over one of its most polarizing ideas, the Global Consensus Value, or GCV. This community-driven proposal sets the Pi token's ideal value at a staggering $314,159, a symbolic number representing Pi to several decimal places. But analysts are calling foul. Crypto expert Dr. Altcoin dismissed the figure as completely detached from market reality, pointing out that even with just 340 million tokens in circulation, the GCV would give Pi a market cap exceeding that of the global economy. Value needs to be earned through utility and adoption, not decided by wishful thinking, he said. Despite the ongoing problems, glimmers of hope remain. One of the biggest potential catalysts on the horizon is a long-rumored Binance listing. While still unconfirmed, there's increasing speculation that the exchange might list PI around Pi 2 day. A community vote earlier this year showed overwhelming support for the idea, but progress has been delayed by both regulatory complexities and back-end integration hurdles. If the listing becomes a reality, it could mark a major turning point. As analyst Westlad put it, Binance doesn't just bring liquidity. It brings legitimacy. A listing would inject confidence back into the community overnight. When looking further into the future, predictions around PI's price are all over the map. CoinCodex estimates a modest price range of 46 cents to 67 cents through 2027, with a potential rise to $2.81 by 2028. Meanwhile, far more aggressive models from DeepSeek and BitGet see a best-case scenario where PI hits anywhere from $200 to $1,000 by 2030. These bullish forecasts, however, depend heavily on near-perfect execution, global adoption, and a fully decentralized, usable network. All of which are still up in the air. Not all analysts are so optimistic. Some warn that PI could dip even lower in the short term if support doesn't hold. Westlad noted that a breakdown below 38 cents could send the coin spiraling to 16 cents. Others like Moon Jeff remain cautiously bullish, believing a bounce to 80 cents is still possible if the network stabilizes and the team delivers on its technical promises. So, where does all of this leave Pi Network? Right now, the project sits in a highly fragile state. Everything hinges on the next few weeks. Can the core team resolve wallet and migration issues? Will the token unlocks crush the price further? Will Binance finally give the coin its long-awaited debut? There's no clear answer yet, but the stakes are enormous. As the countdown to June 28 continues, Pi Network is standing at a crossroads. It has built a massive user base, inspired grassroots momentum, and carried the weight of high expectations. But the path forward is far from certain. Whether this is just another growing pain or a deeper systemic breakdown depends on what happens next and how the core team chooses to lead through crisis. One thing is for sure, the world is watching. The Pi Network's next move could make or break everything. Direct hit if you found this breakdown helpful, informative, or eye-opening. Don't forget to hit the like button, it helps more people see this content. Speech Balloon have thoughts on the Pi crash or predictions for its future? Drop them in the comments, we'd love to hear what the community thinks. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve with deep dives into crypto's biggest stories, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Outbox Trey lastly, share this video/article with fellow Pi pioneers or crypto enthusiasts, because in a space that moves this fast, being informed is everything.